The courtroom of the aliens was not like any court on Earth. The walls were alive with light. Blue crystals grew tall like trees shining in the dark hall. Their glow made strange shadows on the floor. Hundreds of alien eyes watched from the stands, silent, waiting. The air felt heavy as if the whole galaxy held its breath. At the center stood a human. His name was Daniel. He was just one man, but now he carried the weight of 2 lives in his hands. Beside him were the sisters. 2 young girls, their skin pale but faintly glowing. Their eyes too bright for humans, yet too soft for aliens. They were born half human, half alien, and that was their crime. The galactic judge rose from his throne. His body was tall and thin, with arms like sharp blades and eyes that burned like fire. His voice thundered through the hall. "Human Daniel, you have brought 2 forbidden children into this galaxy. The law is clear. Only one may live. The other must die," the crowd murmured. Some aliens nodded, cold and firm. Others looked uneasy but said nothing. Daniel's chest tightened. His heart beat fast, but he did not move. His eyes went to the sisters. One was strong. She stood tall even though her hands trembled. Her hair shimmered silver under the crystal light. She tried to smile at her sister, though her lips shook. The other was weak. She leaned against Daniel, her breath short and shallow. Her body seemed fragile, like a candle ready to go out. Yet her eyes, large, soft, and full of tears, looked at him with trust. The judge slammed a long staff against the floor. "You will choose now. If you do not, both will be executed before this court." Daniel's throat dried. His voice barely came out. "I cannot choose. They are sisters. They are children. They are innocent." The judge's burning eyes grew colder. "Innocence is not the law. Blood is the law. Decide or both perish." The hall grew darker. The crystals pulsed like beating hearts. The silence was louder than any scream. Daniel bent down to the sisters. His hands shook as he touched their shoulders. The strong sister whispered, "Choose me. Save her. She is too weak. She cannot survive without you." But the weak sister cried, clutching his arm, "No, save her. She is strong. She will live. She will protect you when I cannot." Daniel's chest burned. His heart felt like it was being torn in 2. His own voice broke. I can't choose between you." The judge rose higher. His shadow stretched over them like a monster. "Time runs out, human. The law does not wait for your heart." The crowd began to chant softly, "Choose, choose, choose." Their voices echoed like the heartbeat of doom. Daniel looked again at the sisters. Memories flashed before his eyes. He remembered the first time he saw them, hidden in the ruins of a war-torn planet. Alone, scared. He remembered how they held each other's hands, never letting go. He remembered their laughter, rare but bright like sunlight in endless night. How could he take that away? Daniel dropped to his knees. His hands covered his face. He wished he could tear the law apart with his bare hands. He wished he could take their place. The judge's voice struck again. "Speak your choice or both will be destroyed." The strong sister screamed, "Save her!" The weak sister cried, "Save her!" Their voices overlapped, their tears falling like rain. Daniel lifted his head, eyes red, face pale. His voice cracked like broken glass. "I cannot choose." The hall gasped. The judge's eyes turned bright with fury. The crystals shook as if the whole court trembled with his anger. "Then you choose death for both," the judge roared. Guards with long spears stepped forward. Their armor glowed. Their faces were cold, empty of mercy. They moved closer to the sisters. Daniel jumped up, standing in front of them, arms wide. His voice broke with desperate rage. "No, you will not touch them!" The judge's eyes narrowed. "You defy the law?" Daniel shouted, "I defy a law that kills children!" The crowd gasped again. Some aliens hissed in anger. Others looked away, afraid. The judge raised his hand. The crystals above flared with deadly light. "Then you will see the punishment of defiance." The sisters clung to Daniel, trembling. Tears streamed down their faces. The court was silent again, but this silence was not waiting. It was the silence before a storm. Daniel's heart thundered in his chest. His mind screamed for a miracle, but none came. Only the cold, cruel voice of the judge remained. "You cannot save both, and soon you may not save any." The last sound in the hall was the echo of the staff slamming into the floor again. The sentence was not spoken, but everyone knew. The cruel test had only begun. The night was long after the cruel court. Daniel sat inside the cold alien cell. The sisters leaned against him, their small bodies trembling. Guards stood outside, silent like statues. The only sound was the hum of glowing walls. Daniel held the sisters close, his arms tight around them. His mind was heavy, full of pain. He had not chosen. Tomorrow the council would demand his answer again, and if he stayed silent, both girls would die. The weak sister whispered, her voice soft as air. Why do they hate us? Daniel closed his eyes. He wished he could lie, but he could not. Because you are both different. Because you carry human blood and alien blood. They fear what they do not understand. The strong sister lifted her head. Her eyes shone with fire. But we never hurt anyone. Why punish us for being alive? Daniel stroked her hair. His voice was low. Because their law says your lives are a danger. They believe two sisters like you cannot exist. Only one may live. The weak sister leaned harder into him. Then let it be me who dies. She is strong. She can survive. The strong sister shook her head, tears burning her eyes. No, you are kind. You see things I cannot. You are the better one. Daniel's chest ached. Their words stabbed him deeper than any weapon. He had seen this before. Every time danger came, each girl tried to sacrifice herself for the other. Their love for one another was stronger than fear. His mind drifted back far away to the first time he found them. It was on the planet Kalor, in the ruins of a war. The ground had burned black. The sky had been full of smoke and broken ships. Daniel had been searching for survivors, moving through the ashes with heavy boots. He heard it then, a small cry, weak and desperate. He followed the sound to a half-broken shelter made of stone. Inside, two little girls huddled together. One, already taller, wrapped her arms around the other. Their faces were streaked with dust and tears. The strong one had glared at him with fire, as if ready to fight even though she had no weapon. The weak one hid behind her, coughing, too sick to stand. Daniel remembered how the strong sister said, "Don't hurt her. If you must kill, kill me." He had dropped to his knees, shaken. "I won't hurt you. I'm here to help." The weak sister had lifted her head slowly, eyes wide. "Really?" "Yes," Daniel had whispered. "I promise." And from that day, the sisters never left his side. Back in the cell, Daniel looked at them now. They had grown since then, but not enough. They were still children, innocent, soft, full of dreams they had never been allowed to chase. The strong sister wiped her tears quickly. She wanted to look brave even in chains. "Daniel, if you must choose, choose me to die." The weak sister gasped, clutching her hand. "No, I won't let you. I'll go instead." The sisters argued, voices breaking until Daniel held both their hands. "Enough, don't speak of death. Don't speak of sacrifice." His voice trembled with anger. "You are sisters. You are each other's light. I will not let the galaxy take that away." They fell silent. The weak sister leaned her head on his chest. The strong one lowered her eyes, biting her lip, but Daniel could feel it, something hidden deep inside the weak sister. A quiet energy, strange and powerful, like a sleeping storm. He had noticed it before in small moments, when her eyes glowed in the dark, when her breath made the air tremble, when her tears caused the lights to flicker. He never told anyone, not even her, and now as he held her trembling hand, he felt it again. The weak one was not weak at all. She carried something inside her, something the galaxy feared. The next morning, the guards dragged them out. The court awaited. The alien crowd filled the great hall again. Whispers spread like fire. Many eyes turned to the sisters. Some looked curious, others looked cold. The judge appeared once more, tall and burning. His voice shook the chamber. "Human, you have one more chance. Choose or both die." Daniel's hand shook. His heart screamed. He looked at the sisters. The strong one stood tall again, defiant. The weak one swayed, barely able to hold herself upright. Yet in her eyes, Daniel saw it, the secret power flickering like a spark. He thought, if they see it, they will kill her without mercy. The sisters clung to each other, their voices trembling. "Save her." "No, save her." Their bond shone brighter than the crystals. It was more than love. It was sacrifice. It was the will to give everything for the other. Daniel's chest filled with fire. He looked at the judge, his voice firm. "I will never choose, because they are one. If you kill one, you kill the other." The hall gasped. The judge's eyes narrowed. His voice dropped, cold as death. "Then we will take your silence as your choice. Both will die." The guards raised their weapons. The sisters screamed. Daniel stepped forward, but before he could act, the weak sister's body began to glow. Soft at first, then brighter until the whole court was bathed in her light. The crowd shouted in shock. The judge froze. Daniel's eyes widened. The secret. It has begun. The court was filled with light. The weak sister's body glowed like a star. Her small frame shook, but her eyes were no longer soft. They burned, fierce and endless, as if a storm had awakened inside her. The crowd of aliens gasped. Some covered their faces. Others whispered in fear. It is true. The blood curse. It lives in her. The judge slammed his staff and the glow dimmed. The weak sister collapsed into Daniel's arms, breathing hard. Sweat rolled down her face. Her body trembled as if she had fought a great battle, though she had not moved at all. The judge's voice thundered. Now the truth is clear. One of these children carries forbidden power. The galaxy cannot allow both to live. The strong sister knelt beside her sibling, holding her hand tightly. She is not a danger. She is only a child. The judge's burning eyes looked down at her. A child today, a weapon tomorrow. You, human, must decide before the sun set. If you refuse, the law will decide for you. Daniel's mind spun. He felt the weight of every word. He had suspected the weak sister carried something hidden, something powerful, but now the whole galaxy had seen it. There was no hiding her anymore. Guards dragged them back to the prison chamber. Daniel sat with the sisters, his thoughts dark. The weak sister's lips trembled. I didn't mean to. I didn't want them to see. Daniel stroked her hair gently. It's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. The strong sister clenched her fists. They will use this against her. They will call her a monster. She looked at Daniel, fire in her voice. You cannot let them kill her. Promise me. Daniel closed his eyes. He wished promises could break laws, but this was not Earth. Here the law was older than kingdoms, written in blood and fear. He remembered the whispers he had heard from traitors and wanderers. Two of the same blood cannot walk the galaxy together. If they do, death will follow. One must be taken so the balance remains. It was the law of blood, an ancient rule carved in stone, obeyed for thousands of years. None dared to break it. The next day, Daniel was taken before the Galactic Council itself. Not just the judge, but 12 figures from 12 great worlds. They sat in high seats, each taller than a mountain of crystal, their forms hidden by shadow and flame. The eldest spoke first, his voice echoing like thunder across the chamber. Human, you have seen the truth. One sister carries dangerous power. The other does not. The law demands that one must die. You have until the suns fall to choose. Daniel raised his voice. This law is cruel. It kills children who have done nothing wrong. I will not obey it. The council's voices rumbled, overlapping like storms. Cruel or not, it has kept peace. Do you think your small heart knows more than the blood of galaxies? If both live, war will rise. If both live, the stars themselves may burn. The strong sister cried out, You are liars. You fear her because she is different. But she is my sister. She would never harm anyone. The weak sister, trembling, pulled on Daniel's sleeve. Please, let them kill me. If my life keeps the stars safe, I will go. Daniel turned sharply. No, don't say that. You are not the danger, they are. Time passed slowly. Hours felt like years. Daniel's thoughts were torn apart. Every time he looked at the sisters, his chest ached. The strong one never stopped fighting. She argued with the guards. She tried to break her chains. She promised to protect her sister even with her last breath. The weak one only grew quieter. She did not fight. She only watched Daniel with sad eyes, as if she already knew her end. And inside her the glow still pulsed faintly, a secret storm waiting to rise again. That evening the council gathered once more. The chamber was full. Thousands of alien eyes watched from the shadows. The eldest voice boomed. The suns fall. Speak your choice, human. The strong sister or the weak one. One may live. The other will be put to death. The strong sister shouted, Save her! The weak sister cried, Save her! Their voices clashed again, breaking Daniel's heart. He looked at them, his voice shaking. How can I choose between you? You are both my daughters of the heart. To kill one is to kill me. The judge leaned forward, his voice sharp as knives. Then choose yourself, human. Take your own life and we shall spare one. The hall fell silent. The words hung heavy, darker than the void. Daniel froze. His heart thundered. Was this the only way? His blood for theirs. The strong sister screamed, "No! You can't." The weak sister sobbed, "Please don't leave us alone." The council's eyes glowed like burning suns. The law of blood is clear. You cannot save both. If you will not choose them, then perhaps you must choose yourself. Daniel's breath shook. His fists clenched. His mind screamed. Was this the end? Was this the only path left? The staff of the judge struck the floor. The sound boomed like a death bell. Tomorrow at dawn you will make your final choice. Fail again and all three of you shall perish. The guards dragged Daniel and the sisters away. The crowd whispered, voices rising like a wave. And as Daniel looked at the weak sister, her eyes glowed faintly once more. The storm inside her had not gone, and he knew. The law of blood was not just cruel. It was hiding something far more dangerous than the council wanted to admit. The prison cell was colder that night. The walls glowed faint blue, humming like trapped thunder. Daniel sat in silence, his arms wrapped around the sisters. Sleep never came. His mind was fire, his heart heavy as stone. Tomorrow the council would demand his final choice. One sister must live. One must die, or all three would be destroyed. The strong sister whispered in the dark. Daniel, we cannot wait for dawn. They will never spare us. We must run. The weak sister shook her head, frightened. The guards are everywhere. The walls are alive. We cannot escape. Daniel's eyes burned with desperation. He looked at both of them and said, If we stay, we die. If we try, we may live. I will not let them decide your fate. We leave tonight. He studied the guards. Two stood outside the glowing door. They moved like machines, never speaking. Their weapons shimmered with deadly light. Daniel had nothing, no blade, no gun. Only his hands and the will to fight. He whispered to the sisters, Stay behind me. When the door opens, we run. Don't look back. The strong sister nodded, her jaw tight. The weak one trembled but gripped his arm. Daniel waited. The guards changed their stance every few minutes. One leaned closer to check the door's glow. That was the moment. With a sudden roar, Daniel rushed forward. His shoulder smashed into the door. Pain tore through him, but the crystal cracked. The guards shouted, surprised. The strong sister screamed and pushed her small body against the door with him. The crystal shattered, bursting into shards of light. The alarms began to howl. Red lights spun in the hall. Run! Daniel shouted. They sprinted down the corridor. Their bare feet slapped against the cold floor. Aliens turned their heads, gasping as the human and the forbidden children fled. Guards gave chase. Their footsteps echoed like thunder. Spears of energy flew past, striking the walls. Sparks exploded around them. The strong sister pulled the weak one, never letting go. Daniel stayed behind them, turning, grabbing a fallen spear. With a fierce swing, he struck down a guard who blocked their path. Keep going, he roared. The sisters ran faster, their small forms glowing faintly in the chaos. They reached the great city above. Towers of crystal rose into the sky, shining in the night. But now alarms screamed across every street. Drones filled the air, their red eyes searching. Over there! A guard shouted. They darted into the narrow alleys between the towers. Shadows wrapped around them, but the glow of the sister's skin betrayed their path. Daniel lifted the weak sister into his arms, her breath ragged, her body trembling. Hold on, he whispered. The strong sister ran beside him, her teeth clenched. We can't stop. They're too close. They burst into a market square. Aliens froze in shock. Merchants dropped their goods. Children cried. Guards poured in from every side. Daniel spun his spear, his face grim. Stay behind me. The guards circled, their armor glowing. One sneered, Give them up, human. The law will be done. Daniel roared back. The law is murder. And I will never obey it. He leapt forward, striking hard. His spear clashed with theirs, sparks flying. The strong sister grabbed a fallen stone and hurled it at a guard, knocking him back. But the weak sister suddenly screamed. Her body shone again, brighter than before. Her eyes glowed like suns. The ground shook. Crystals in the square cracked and shattered. Everyone froze in terror. Guards stumbled back, shielding their eyes. The curse! The curse is awake. The weak sister collapsed again, gasping. The glow faded. Daniel caught her, his face pale. He whispered, Hold on. Don't give up. The strong sister clung to her hand, crying. Please, don't leave me. The guards pressed forward again. One shouted, Kill them now! Before the power rises again. Daniel's eyes blazed. He stood tall, blood running down his arm. If you want them, you must go through me. He fought like a storm, his spear flashing, his voice a roar. But there were too many. For every guard he struck down, two more appeared. The sisters screamed as they were grabbed by armored hands. Daniel shouted, trying to reach them, but spears struck his chest and knocked him down. The judge's voice echoed through the air, carried by unseen speakers. You have defied the law. You have broken our peace. Tomorrow your punishment will be greater than death. The guards dragged Daniel and the sisters back toward the high tower. Chains burned against their wrists. The strong sister struggled, her voice fierce. You will never break us. The weak sister wept, whispering, Daniel, I'm sorry. Daniel's eyes filled with fire and sorrow. He wanted to scream, to tear the world apart. But his voice was gone. Back inside the court, the council waited. The judge stood tall, his eyes glowing like fire. He pointed his staff. Now you will see the cost of defiance. No longer will we ask for your choice. At dawn we will choose for you, and none of you will escape the law of blood. The sisters clung to each other, tears falling. Daniel's chest rose and fell, his fury silent but burning. And in the dark, the weak sister's faint glow pulsed once more, like a secret heart, waiting to awaken again. The prison was darker than before. After the failed escape, the guards had sealed Daniel and the sisters in a deeper cell far below the crystal towers. No windows, no stars, only walls that pulsed like cold veins glowing faint red. Daniel sat against the wall, his breath heavy. His body was bruised, his arms cut, but his spirit was still alive. The strong sister sat close, eyes full of fire. The weak sister lay on the floor, her skin pale, her chest rising and falling as if every breath was a battle. The strong sister whispered, She is getting weaker. Daniel, they are killing her. Daniel touched the weak sister's forehead. She burned with heat, yet her body shook with cold. He felt the faint glow beneath her skin, like light trying to escape. She isn't just sick, Daniel said softly. Something inside her is growing. Something they fear. The strong sister's eyes widened. The secret? Daniel nodded. Yes, I saw it in the court, in the square. When her light rose, even the guards stepped back. They call it a curse. But I think it is something more. That night, the weak sister dreamed. Her body lay still, but her mind was far away. She saw endless stars spinning around her. She stood in a place with no ground, no sky, only light. The light spoke to her, not with words, but with feelings. Warmth, sadness, power. The voice whispered, You are not weak. You are chosen. The galaxy fears you because you are change. You are the bridge between bloods. But bridges are broken by fear. She reached out, but the light faded. She fell deeper and deeper until Daniel's voice pulled her back. Wake up. Please wake up. Her eyes opened. Daniel held her hand tightly. You were glowing again? What did you see? She shook her head weakly. I don't know. Only stars. And a voice. The strong sister gripped her arm. Don't tell them. If the council learns, they will kill you now. Daniel's jaw tightened. They already want her dead. But maybe this power is the only thing that can save her. The next morning, guards came. Chains clinked as they dragged Daniel and the sisters into the council chamber again. The 12 shadows of the Galactic Council loomed above. Their eyes glowed like suns. The eldest voice thundered, The law of blood has been broken by your defiance. The weaker child has revealed the curse. Now the galaxy must decide. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Some cried, Kill her now! Others murmured, She could be a weapon, perhaps a savior. Daniel stepped forward, though chains cut into his wrists. His voice was fierce. She is not a curse. She is a child. You fear her power, but you do not understand it. The judge slammed his staff. Silence, human. This power is forbidden. It comes from mixing blood that was never meant to be joined. Such children are dangerous, unclean. The strong sister shouted, You lie. She is my sister. She is good. She would never harm anyone. The weak sister trembled, tears running down her cheeks. Please, stop fighting because of me. But the council's eyes fixed only on her. Their voices merged into one, deep and final. If she lives, worlds will fall. If she dies, peace will remain. Suddenly, the weak sister's body shook again. A soft glow spread across her skin. Her chains melted as if they were wax. Gasps filled the hall. She rose slowly to her feet, though she had no strength left. Her eyes shone like twin stars. The guard stepped back. Even the judge hesitated. The strong sister reached out in fear. Sister, stop. They will kill you! But the weak one's voice was clear for the first time. I don't want to die. But I don't want anyone else to die because of me either. Light burst from her hands, pure and blinding. The floor cracked. The walls trembled. The crystal towers above groaned as if the planet itself was afraid. The council shouted, voices overlapping in rage and fear. The curse awakens. Destroy her before she consumes us all. Guards rushed forward, spears glowing. Daniel threw himself in front of her. His voice roared, No! She is not your curse, she is your future. The light faded as quickly as it came. The weak sister collapsed again, her body limp. Daniel caught her, his heart racing. The hall was silent. The council stared down, their glowing eyes unreadable. The eldest voice spoke at last, slow and cold. The decision is made. At dawn, the weak one will be executed. The strong one will live. And the human will be put to death for his crimes. The crowd roared in approval and fear. The strong sister screamed, fighting her chains. No, kill me instead. Take me, not her. Daniel held the weak sister close, whispering, Stay with me. Please stay. Her faint voice trembled. Daniel, I saw the stars. They called me chosen. But maybe chosen means doomed. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. His voice was steel. No, you're not doomed. I swear before every world I will not let them take you. The guards dragged them away once more. The council's judgment echoed like a death bell in Daniel's mind. But deep inside, as the weak sister's light flickered faintly in his arms, Daniel knew one truth. This was no curse, it was power. And soon, it would change everything. The dawn came cold and heavy. The suns of the alien world rose over the crystal towers, but their light felt cruel. The whole city moved toward the great court. Thousands filled the stands. Some came to see justice, others came to see death. Daniel stood in chains at the center. His clothes were torn, his face bruised, but his eyes burned with fire. Beside him were the sisters. The strong one, jaw tight, eyes red from crying. The weak one, pale and trembling, her faint glow flickering like a candle about to die. Above them, the Galactic Council loomed. 12 shadows. 12 glowing eyes. The judge stepped forward, his staff glowing with deadly light. Human, the judge thundered. Today ends your defiance. The law of blood demands a choice. You will speak it now. One sister shall live. The other shall die. If you refuse, all three of you will be executed before this crowd. The words echoed through the hall. The crowd leaned forward, whispering. Some demanded death. Others watched in silence. Daniel's chest ached. His heart screamed. His eyes went to the sisters. The strong one whispered, Choose me. Let me go. Save her. The weak one cried, No. Save her. She is brave. She can live without me. Their voices overlapped, each begging for the other. Daniel fell to his knees. His hands shook. Stop. Please stop. I can't choose between you. The judge's eyes blazed. You must. This is the trial of the heart. Show the galaxy where your love lies. Show us who is worthy to live. The crowd began to chant, slow and heavy. Choose, choose, choose. Daniel's throat burned. His vision blurred. He wanted to tear his own heart out rather than speak one name. He remembered the ruins of Kalor, where he had first found them. 2 small children holding hands, refusing to let go even in the ashes of war. He remembered their laughter, soft but bright. He remembered their tears, always shared. They were more than sisters. They were one soul and 2 bodies. To choose one was to kill the other anyway. He lifted his head. His voice shook but grew stronger. You ask me to break what cannot be broken. They are one. Their love is one. If you kill one, you kill them both. I will not choose. The council's voices rose in fury. Then all 3 shall perish. The crowd gasped. Guards stepped forward, weapons drawn. The sisters screamed, holding each other. No! Daniel spread his arms wide, blocking them. Then kill me instead. Take my life. Spare theirs! The hall went silent. Thousands froze. Even the council paused. The judge's eyes narrowed. You would give your life for them? Daniel's voice cracked but did not break. Yes, if blood must be spilled, let it be mine. Let the law take me, the sisters wailed. The strong one shouted, No! You can't. We need you. The weak one sobbed, Don't leave us alone. But Daniel's face was calm. His decision was fire in his chest. The council whispered among themselves, voices like storms colliding. At last, the eldest spoke. Strange. A human who chooses death for himself. But the law does not care for your heart. One of the sisters must die. That is unchanging. Daniel's body shook. Then I refuse. I refuse your law. Kill me if you must, but I will never choose between them. The crowd erupted in noise. Some shouted for blood. Others wept, moved by his defiance. The judge lifted his staff, glowing brighter than ever. Then you have chosen all to die. The guards raised their weapons. Spears hummed with deadly light. Suddenly, the weak sister's glow burst forth again. But this time it was not faint. It was a storm. Blinding light filled the hall. The ground cracked. The walls shook. Her voice rang out, strong and clear, though her body trembled. Stop! If someone must die, take me. Spare my sister. Spare Daniel. The strong sister screamed, No! Take me instead. The two clung to each other, crying, each begging to be sacrificed. Daniel fell to his knees again, his heart breaking. His voice was raw. Don't you see? This is their bond. This is their power. Their love for each other is greater than your law. The council's eyes glowed, but their voices wavered. Fear rippled through them. The eldest whispered almost to himself, Such love, such power. Perhaps this is what we feared all along. The weak sister's light faded suddenly. She collapsed, limp in Daniel's arms. Her breathing was shallow, her glow almost gone. The strong sister screamed her name, shaking her. Wake up, please, don't leave me. Daniel held her close, tears streaming down his face. Stay with us. Please don't give up. The judge's staff struck the floor. Enough, the trial ends at dawn's light. If the human does not speak a name, the law will speak for him. All three will die, the hall roared. The guards dragged Daniel and the sisters back to the cell one last time. The weak sister whispered with the last of her strength. Daniel, tomorrow you must choose. If you don't, they will kill her too. Daniel's hands shook as he held her. No, I will find another way. I will not let the galaxy take you from each other. The strong sister pressed her forehead to his shoulder. Then hurry, tomorrow is the end. The cell grew silent, broken only by the weak sister's faint breaths and the pounding of Daniel's heart. The trial of the heart was not over. It had only reached its cruelest point. The suns rose again, red and merciless over the crystal towers. Their light spilled into the grand court, where thousands had gathered to witness the final judgment. The air was heavy, thick with whispers of fear and hunger for blood. At the center stood Daniel, chained, bruised, but unbroken. Beside him were the sisters, one strong and fiery, one weak and glowing faintly like a dying star. Both clung to his arms, trembling but defiant. Above them, the 12 shadows of the Galactic Council loomed. Their glowing eyes burned like suns, their voices merging into a single thunder. Human, they declared, the time is over. The law of blood cannot wait. Speak your choice now. One sister shall live. The other shall die. If you remain silent, all three perish together. The judge lifted his staff, its tip blazing like fire. Choose, Daniel. Choose, or none will leave this court alive. The strong sister cried out, her voice sharp as steel. Save her, Daniel. Let me die. She is gentle, she is hope. The galaxy needs her. The weak sister clutched him, tears flooding her eyes. No, save her, not me. She is brave. She can survive without you. Their voices clashed like thunder, each begging for the other's life. The crowd murmured, torn between awe and disgust. Some shouted, Kill them all! Others whispered, Let the human choose himself instead. Daniel's heart pounded. His throat burned. He looked at both sisters, their hands clutching his, their tears falling. He felt his soul tear apart. Then he understood. The galaxy's law was not only cruel, it was afraid. Afraid of love stronger than fear. Afraid of unity stronger than blood. He rose slowly, chains rattling. His voice was hoarse but unshaken. I will not choose between them. If blood is needed, take mine. Let me die. Spare them both, the hall gasped. A human offering himself to death? No one had ever seen such a thing. The judge's eyes flared. You defy us again? Daniel shouted, his voice echoing to every corner. Yes, because their bond is greater than your law. Because love cannot be divided by chains. If you want peace, then kill me, but let them live together. The council rumbled with unease. For the first time, their voices shook. The strong sister screamed, No! Don't leave us. We need you. The weak sister sobbed, Please. Don't go. Daniel turned to them, tears in his eyes. Listen to me. You are stronger than me, stronger than this law. Together you will survive. Promise me you will stay together." The sisters clung to him, crying, refusing to let go, but Daniel pulled their hands to his chest. His heart thundered beneath their palms. "This is my choice. My last choice. My life for yours." The judge raised his staff. "So be it. The human dies." Guards stepped forward, weapons glowing. The crowd erupted, some cheering, some weeping. But before the strike could fall, the weak sister's glow burst forth once more. This time it was not small. It was vast, endless, filling the hall with light brighter than 1,000 suns. Her voice rose, clear and powerful. "No, I will not let him die for us. If the galaxy wants blood, then take mine." She stepped forward, her body blazing. The guards fell back, blinded. The council's eyes dimmed. The strong sister screamed, trying to pull her back, but Daniel held her still. "No," Daniel whispered, his face fierce. "This is not your sacrifice. It is mine." He broke free of the guards, chains snapping as if fire burned through them. He seized the staff from the judge's hand and thrust it into the ground. The crystals of the court cracked. The light shattered. Daniel roared to the heavens. "No more death. No more law of blood." The weak sister's glow wrapped around him, not consuming him but joining with him. Her light poured into his body, and for a moment he stood like a star himself. The council cried out in fear. "Impossible. A human cannot hold such power." But Daniel's voice thundered back. "I am only a man, but I am a man who loves. And love is greater than fear, greater than law, greater than blood." The chains of the sisters broke. The guards fell to their knees, blinded by the storm of light. The council trembled. Their voices shook. "What have you done, human? You have broken the law." Daniel stood tall, the sisters clutching his sides, their faces wet with tears but shining with hope. His voice was calm, final. "No, I have ended it." The light faded slowly. Daniel collapsed to his knees, weak and trembling. The sisters caught him, holding him tight. "Daniel!" the strong sister cried. "Stay with us!" The weak one begged. He smiled faintly, his breath shallow. "I chose you both. That is all I ever wanted." The council was silent. The crowd was silent. For the first time in 1,000 years, the law of blood was broken. But from the shadows, a low voice whispered, "This is not the end. Peace never lasts. Another trial will come." The weak sister held Daniel's hand, her glow soft and steady now. The strong sister lifted her head, eyes fierce. "Then we will face it," she said. "Together." And in that broken court, in the light of dawn, the galaxy was changed forever. By one human's heart and two sisters' love.